Welcome, everyone. I'm Raquel Starr, Director of the Energy of Breath School, hailing from the Pacific of Costa Rica. I'm super happy because I have a lot of my awesome friends here on this activation with me today on this powerful process we're doing for 1111. And this one is the beginning of a series that I'm so grateful, thanks to my friend Amalia, for inspiring me to get this started. And one second, I'm going to get my daughter to calm my dog in so he doesn't bark, okay? One sec. All right, he's in protective mode. One sec, okay? All right, we're back. So this is the beginning of an every second Monday at 11 a.m. Costa Rica time gamma breathwork activation. And as some of you may know, some of you would not know, I've been working with breathwork since 2002 and with gamma breathwork since 2012. And breathwork was a life changer for me. I was a DJ before and a professional dancer before, and had already a practice in counseling and energy work and nutrition, but when I jumped into breathwork, it changed everything about my life. It got me started into this whole big journey of over 2 decades now with the breath. And then when I discovered the gamma breath, it spurred me to create a whole new protocol and training around this breath because it's been that life changing and that transformational for me. So, as I'm welcoming more people that are joining, just wanted to share a little bit about what gamma is and why the topic of today. And for those of you that just joined, just know that I'm videoing this so that I can post the video later. And everyone, just so you know, I'm the one that's on the video screen, so you are private. And any shares we do, we could be doing on the chat. But so what I've done over these last 12 years working with Gamma Breath is methodically and intentionally and devotionally focus on different areas of my life to stimulate healing. It's definitely been a lot of karmic lessons in this journey, a lot of traumas over my life, a lot of healing. I mean, here we're all in the human realm, right? And we all have our lessons and activations in our life to be looking at. But still, one second, I'm just going to mute somebody. One sec. Okay. So, but what I discovered on this journey of healing in many areas of my life is how much gamma made a difference. Even though I was already working with breathwork for a decade beforehand, when I discovered the gamma state, it was a exponential game changer. And here's why. When we breathe into gamma, we get into the flow state. It's a state of 40 hertz and higher energy that's flowing through our brain, informing our whole consciousness, all our cells of our entire body. We're stimulating endorphins to flow. We're oxygenating, of course. Oxytocin is being stimulated. We are balancing and regulating brain chemicals serotonin and dopamine, GABA, and especially as we stimulate our pineal gland with the breath, we are creating a micro release of DMT. When we get into this space together with all of us that are here today, it's an exponential quantum leap into what we can activate and manifest, because as we tune into the topic that we tune into and we process all our concerns and emotions and held um, energies about it, we create an opening with the breath to access this energy and convert it into this golden fuel of gamma. Now we have all this processing power available with which to take truly a quantum leap into our new selves, into the now, into recognition as we step into the next days, every day of changes. We just notice ourselves operating differently. We notice new synchronicities. We notice that things are flowing more harmoniously in that area that we're focused on. And what I love about this breath so much too is that each breath sequence is so easy to do. Like, each sequence lasts a minute and a half. You can do a basic gamma breath wherever you are, at the gym, walking, at work, at a red light, before you get up from bed, after a meal, after a meeting, before you get together with your lover, whatever it is. You can keep cultivating this gamma quotient and you can keep upgrading your life. And I can attest to this. This is what I've been up to for 12 years personally, and I now have close to 100 facilitators of Gamma Breathwork around the world as well. I'm so happy to have many of you here on the call today. And in this series, different facilitators are going to be joining to share all their other special gifts with Gamma. So it's going to be a very potent series. And a little history about this too. Where did this Gamma Breath come from? Corey Herder, who I know personally, created the breath sequences back in about 2010. He's up to other techniques now for brain training and upgrading of consciousness, and he gave me the blessing and the green light to use these breaths, to work with them in sessions, and then to create my own training around it. Oh, the screen froze for a second. Oh, here we are. Okay, so what happened was I was working with other kinds of breath work, biodynamic breath, which I had co-created a 200-hour training in Manhattan. And I was giving sessions for trauma healing and addictions clearing at clinics in Florida at the time when I met Corey Herder. And he basically gifted me the blessing of working with these breaths to start putting them into those sessions. And all these people who were at the clinics were seeing such exponential results with their addiction patterns and their emotions and having faith in their future and their lives, that then I created a training around it, because that's what I do. So you can use Gamma Breathwork for manifesting, for activating of your goals, for putting up a vision board and taking action, creative action in all the things you want to do in your life. You could use it for harmonizing your relationships, for growing your business, for, like I said, healing of addictions, for healing of traumas, for ancestral lineage clearing. If you want to go in the more metaphysical, you could work with Gamma for other lives, alternate timelines, multi-dimensional healing. You could work with this breath for preparing and integrating ceremonies, and one of my favorites to support people to really integrate those high energy states. Because breath is medicine. We actually create all the chemistry and consciousness that we need within ourselves. And as we're going to experience today, that's what we're going to be doing with the breath. All right, so that was a bit of an intro. So before we go into the actual process, I want to talk to you a little bit about money and my personal journey with money. So I grew up around Latin America. My dad was in charge of developing Xerox Corporation, so we were somewhat well-to-do, and I had a nice, say, affluent kind of lifestyle growing up. And yet I lived in all these countries in Latin America where I was really present to a lot of classism and differences in income, and there were some traumas on either side of the family with money. My grandpa on my dad's side, who actually his family emigrated from Russia, from Eastern Europe, were very poor, and my grandpa as a little kid used to sell apples on the street so that they wouldn't go hungry. On my mom's side, going back generations, they actually had plantations and so on, but then there was this communist war in El Salvador, and my grandfather, like all his work, like the land was given to all the people, which is great, but he also went into a deep depression about it. And so there's been these feelings of loss and need and like hunger and or like guilt and somehow trying to grasp money. Even though I grew up, say, comfortably and in all these beautiful countries, my dad didn't teach me about how to manage money. If anything, there was a perspective around money in our family that women didn't know how to handle money. and because I chose a career as a ballerina, and I chose this like hippie DJ breathwork kind of career, like it was the subject of kind of being the black sheep of the family a little bit. So even though I kept pursuing my passions, I felt in the back of my consciousness that something was wrong and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be, and like a sense of limitation, which has carried with me even until recently. It's been like peeling the layers of the onion to get to a point of like, oh no, I'm like free. I'm here to express who I really am. I'm here to embody myself and feel like this deep comfort and consciousness and just comfortable self of myself and love of myself and self-care at this level. And even just recently, I was reading this book called Access Consciousness, Becoming Money, and gained even new distinctions about money and even bigger breakthroughs. And it's not that I'm someone who has riches. I don't even have like a whole bunch of savings in the bank. That's not where I'm coming from with this. I'm coming from the places that we're going to do this activation together so that we can each activate wherever we're at Bigger freedom with money, bigger energy flow, which actually translates to every area of our life. The money is a holographic reflection, maybe, of other areas of our lives. And personally, for me, I focus on things like my creative expression, community building, my really conscientious, beautiful, like family building, relationship building, health building. Before I decided to focus on, okay, now I want to build some financial wealth, like financial prosperity. So since I'm up to that now, the way it works with Gamma is we do activations around it and that sets it in motion. All right, so that was a lot. I just wanted to share where I'm coming from with this so that we can go into it. And I know we're each coming from our own spaces with it. So if you'd like, you're welcome to take a few moments now in the chat and share what called you to join today. Like, what's present for you about money? What do you desire? No pressure, but if you'd like to take a few moments to share some perspectives, that would be very well welcomed. So I'll pause talking so energetically for a few moments while we do that. Oh, thank you. I have somebody sharing that my energy was primary for him to join this class today, and someone saying that Gemma has changed their life since I taught it to them. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so maybe some more people are typing as you do, then I'll share what those shares are. But just so you know this, let's see, somebody is saying absolute limitlessness, releasing all ties and stories. Yes. Around money specifically, I've opened my mind to abundance, but realize I have some more work to do to clean my relationship with money. My intention is to uplift the manifestation of cash flow. Yes. Looking forward to intentionally applying this magic to money because I've seen it be fruitful in many other ways. Yes. I've been drawn to this as I quit my job as a lawyer in the UK last October, and since then haven't had a stable income. I've been trying to find my path. I've been doing an investing course recently and also interested in copy trading, but I've been shy to go after money specifically. Okay. My intention is to have steady income from what I love most: breathwork trainings and retreats, and more freedom financially to enjoy life and self-love. Clearer manifestation, and I read The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist, which was life-changing, and I'm trying to get as much exposure to this new up-leveled energy to rewrite my story. More ease with finances, feeling like having extra cash flow beyond just getting by with expenses and barely enough to pay rent. Yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya, everybody. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. So the way it works with Gamma is that we will be doing these breaths and we will be inputting into this quantum field that we are co-creating all this energy so that we can all benefit from each other's process, because we've all collectively experienced all these things and we are all collectively desiring all these things. And then as we breathe, we are amplifying exponentially this frequency. And that's how we can manifest. That's how we ground this in physically. Okay, wait, there's a few more shares. Let's see. I love and appreciate you. Thank you. Find you so inspiring. Thank you. You too. I've been on a path of manifesting and working on all patterns with money. Okay. And another one. I'm a therapist, self-employed with my own practice, private practice. I was making a large amount of money and needed to make a shift with my practice for my own health and the health of my family. Health and relationships have improved, but finances have decreased significantly. My intention is to have balance in my life and to be guided to follow my path toward abundant living. Yes. And to live in ease, freedom, and peace. Share this with women. Live comfortably within my means. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to cry. I know there's a lot of heartfelt desire and humanness in this space for all of us to thrive. I mean, however it is, from however I can perceive, like we're all here in our learning, right? Like we're all coming from different places of perspective, and maybe some of us study things like human design and astrology and our karmic paths and all these things, and what are we each here specifically learning. And we're all here, especially in this gathering today, desiring to expand our consciousness, desiring to have a life of harmony. And yes, absolutely, 100%, that's what we can do. That's why we're here. That's why we're visioning it. That's why we're proclaiming it. We can create whatever we want. That's what this activation is about. So, before we start breathing, I also want to say that consider there are infinite perspectives about money. Infinite. There's from people who are, say, living on the streets and don't have any money, and maybe they're happy about it, that's their journey, to people who are billionaires and they're still working on making more money, having more enterprise, right? There's people who might have 10 cents and they feel really abundant because right now they have a pantry full of food and their family's healthy, to people who have, they figure they have a few years of money saved up, so as long as they have that, they feel secure. There's people who have like a set paycheck every week and they have a 401k and they have a retirement fund. They're like Social Security and stocks and cryptocurrency. And then there's people who barter and live off the land and who are homesteading. There's people who live in the forest off the fruit trees. So what is abundance and where does money come from? And for those who are on a set income, who are working in a certain corporation, say, and you have a specific income, that might be a question too, because like, where is extra different money going to show up from? Well, believe it or not, it can happen. I'm not joking. It could just be like some random phone call that there was a distant aunt who left an inheritance and all of a sudden you're going to receive several $1,000s of it. Like, that's happened to my daughter once. To all of a sudden you meet somebody at a cafe who's starting a new business, who's giving you a really special opportunity and taking you with them on their sailboat hosting retreats. Like, anything can happen. What I want to say too is that the more opportunity there is to be in conscious connected community, in heart-centered space with other people where we're more free to share our gifts, more of this abundance can happen. We are excited to share with each other. We're excited to see each other flourish and grow. We're excited to collaborate and bring new synergistic things to life. So the fact that we're all here today is definitely going to activate something magical for each of us. I've been putting some of these practices into play in the last couple weeks, preparing for this activation. And I kid you not, each day I had an income show up that I wasn't expecting. A student of mine sent me a payment sooner than she was going to. Another person ordered a Breathwork audio bundle that I wasn't thinking about. Like, somebody else sent me some money yesterday for a session that's coming up. You know what I mean? Like, just extra different things that weren't on the schedule, that weren't set appointments that I have, or like that. So you just got to be open. So I know that's a lot to say. We're going to go into the practice now. I just wanted to introduce these things just to start to open up the perspective. And I'm sure it's things we all already know, just that I just wanted to bring them to the foreground. Okay, so now we're going to do this. Let's all close our eyes. And let's each take a few moments to now slow down a bit and really ground into our physical bodies so we can receive this. As we each feel our physical bodies now, I know everybody's been listening to a lot of information. Let's recognize that, wow, we're in our physical body at all times. It's just that sometimes our energy is up and above in a lot of places. So let's ground. And as we feel ourselves becoming more still, let's say hello to our breath. Our breath is always with us. Thank you, breath. We're breathing with intention now. We're breathing as a tool for consciousness. Not only that, but exponentially going to gamify with our breath. So we can receive everything even more fully, let's tune into our sense of hearing. So you could have your eyes closed or open, listen to all the sounds in your space, near and far. Maybe you can even hear the rain where I am. And now, up to you. You could even have your eyes closed to do this or with them open. Looking around your surroundings, tuning into your sense of sight, like textures, colors, or if you have your eyes closed, you could see. You could see your space because you're in a space you're familiar with. As we tune into our sense of sight, let's be aware that today, together, we're also going to be really cultivating our inner vision with intention, our third eye. Now, our sense of smell as we breathe through our nose, taking in the temperature and quality of the air, the scent of the air, wherever you are. Is it dry? Is it moist? Warm or cold? Does it smell good? Hopefully. And sense of taste. So we notice our taste buds on our tongue, tasting our mouth. Maybe we recently drank or ate something. And now our sense of touch. So we notice all of our skin and our entire body at once, every pinpoint of sensation. So feeling more and more alive in our skin and with all our senses that we tune into all at once right now. And now, tune in, each of us, to our surroundings, whether we're in an airport like someone is right now, or at home, or somewhere else, office space, or such, and receive the energy from all your surroundings. It doesn't matter what kind of environment it is, it's all energy. Just receive it for positive energy, for fuel. I'm going to channel to all of us this beautiful, fresh garden mountain energy into our quantum space right now, so you can feel this energy. And as you do this, tuning into the energy, now scan from the top of your head all the way to the bottom of your feet for about a minute to ground in, receiving energy from all around. Just ground, remembering to still breathe openly, nose or mouth, grounding this energy. All right, keep grounding, keep melting inwards, feeling this energy come in. Consider that money is energy right now, neutral energy, and we can receive it from everywhere, from above and all around, from below. It's just entering through our body, just free energy. All right, and I'm going to describe our first gamma breath for those who are new to this. And you just keep grounding in. You can have your eyes open or closed. Keep just breathing easy, feeling your body. We're all really present in our body and all our senses in our breath. So, for those who came in after the description at the beginning, gamma breathing is a way of activating our flow state, 40 hertz and exponentially higher, as we will experience through this session. In our brain, in our bodies, we're stimulating and regulating all our neurochemicals, endorphins, oxygen, and also DMT. DMT is this spirit molecule fuel that's going to activate our higher frequencies for what we're grounding in and calling in. Everybody shared some really powerful special intentions, very heartfelt, so they're all in the field. So each of these breaths is a mix of mouth and nose breathing. Each breath takes about a minute, minute and a half to do. After each breath, we'll have a little pause to integrate the sensations of the energy. It'll feel very tingly, wavy through our brain, through our body, very expanding, and at the same time grounding. And as we breathe, it's not a technique of, say, just the chest or the belly. It's a full body open breathing experience. When we breathe with our mouth open, it's mouth, jaw, relax, okay? And when the nose is just relaxed so we don't feel like a tightness through the throat or anything. Even though we're fully breathing into our lungs and our diaphragm expands to create space in our lungs, we can also feel that the breath goes all the way down through our pelvis, down through the floor, all around us. We're going to be creating this toroidal field of quantum gamma light all around us personally and all of us together. Even for those who view the video later, this is beyond time and space. It's like all now. We all will benefit from each other's activation. So breathe fully, breathe with your entire being. It's not forced, but it is open and flowing. All right, so for this first breath, we could place our palms together in the prayer mudra. We're going to be working with mudras to create specific channels of energy. Each one has a specific instruction with the breath. This one is to create grounding and coherence in our body, left and right brain hemispheres. The mudra is in front of our heart, connecting with our heart energy. This first breath is all 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. All of these breaths are based on sacred geometry formulas as well. All right, so this one's to enter the gamma state together. So here we go. In mouth, out mouth. In mouth, out nose. In nose, out nose. In nose, out mouth. In mouth, out mouth. In mouth, out nose. In nose, out nose. In nose, out mouth. One more set. Very spacious, full body breaths. In mouth, out mouth. In mouth, out nose. In nose, out nose. In nose, out mouth. And a big and spacious in mouth, out mouth. Awesome. Now we can relax the mudra. Let's all close our eyes. Sit back, relax, breathe easy as you immerse in gamma energy. All right. So you can stay with eyes closed for now. Even as I'm talking, we're creating an altered state now. We're all entering into gamma because it's quite a large group of us breathing together. It's exponential. So just go with it. You may feel tingly, wavy. Some of you may experience during this session like fractal images, colors, tuning into your aura. uh, visions, realizations, messages. It may also be just more centering and calming. It doesn't have to be any of those trippy kind of things. We're regulating is what we're doing. This is a very adaptogenic process. We want to get to the most resourced, harmonized center space from where to create this financial freedom, right? So now, what we're each going to do is tune into our personal intentions. Thank you for everyone that you shared in the chat. Many very special, significant, heartfelt intentions. And I read most of them out loud. Some I didn't get to, but they're all here in the chat. And just know that we're going to all put them into our quantum field together right now, silently, our intentions. And while we do this, let's also take a few moments to feel within our desire and our calling forth whatever it may be: protection, creating a receptive container for money, creating more freedom with money, abundance, ease, forgiveness, completion, upgrades, right? So many different things. Let's feel into our intentions. Maybe we just want to heal our emotions around money. Maybe we don't want to feel angst or hurt or left out or needing or wanting or suffering or worried or anything like this. Or maybe already we're in a good space, we're just wanting to expand it more. It's all valid. It's all going to be worked with here today. All right, so now we're going to do a breath that activates our intentions and sets the pathways for the rest of the breaths and everything that we're going to channel and look at in this breath, in this process. So for this one, we place our fingertips together in the diamond mudra. We can hold this over our heart. Again, we're creating a space of heart coherence. Our reality really does expand from our hearts. The more whole and at ease and good we are within ourselves and our hearts, the more what we're intending right now becomes possible as well. So also knowing this, we're activating our pineal gland so much with these breaths, and our consciousness also then connects with our heart and radiates our whole body, right, into our field, into loved ones, family, community, people we work with, and through our hands. So hence these mudras, which are also manifestation tools. During this breath, just feel your breath. That's how you're going to feel the abundance. Feel your breath. The intention's already set in motion. Just allow whatever's happening, any thoughts, just allow them. It's all part of the process. Let's breathe. This one is different, by the way. Medium is 3 seconds in or out. Slow is 5 seconds in or out. Fast will be 1 second in or out. All right. In mouth, medium. In more. Even more. And out mouth, medium. In mouth, out nose, slow. In nose, out nose, medium. In nose, out mouth, fast. In mouth, out mouth, medium. In mouth, medium. In more. Even more. And hold. Out nose, in mouth, slow. Out nose, in nose, medium. Out mouth, in nose, fast. Out mouth, in mouth, medium. In more. Even more. Bit more. And hold. We can each close our eyes if they're not already closed. Just feel into this. Feel that you're amplifying. Hold your breath as long as you can. financial freedom, divine light and protection, safe container to create, completion all around, expansion, prosperity, and more. Energy, high energy. And out mouth. Good. Now, as you breathe however you need to, feel the energy in your hands in this mudra. This is gamma energy. So I'm sure you're all feeling your hands really tingling and activated. So our brain waves, beta, alpha, theta, delta, zeta, are all meridians through our hands, and they're all gammified. Our beta brain waves, alpha brain waves, and so on are right now gammified and upgraded. So what we're doing is taking the energy that's in our hands, which is the hologram of our reality now gammified, and we bring it up to our lips to inhale mouth and drink gamma manifestation energy. So here we go. In mouth. And on the out mouth, relax your hands and feel this energy immersing, landing through you, this technicolor, high energy light of abundance. As you breathe with ease and just receive and relax, drop in. So as everybody's integrating this breath, for some it might feel very elevating, for some like relaxing, all is welcome. We're going to tune into positive experiences first that we've each had with money. Let's just go with all our positive memories. So take your time for a couple minutes, well, each of us, and scan. It doesn't matter if they jump in order from today to when you were 5 years old, however it is, all the positive feel-good states that we have experienced with money, or that we've even witnessed and celebrated with others. And even if there's aspects of the memories or circumstances which weren't so positive or weren't okay or didn't feel good, we're just going to hone into the highlight, where the golden fuel is, that highlight of each memory of a positive freedom experience with money. Or even if for you it was like a feeling of celebration or relief or at ease, or just being able to be in the moment and let go of any responsibilities, or whatever it may mean for each of us. Let's tune into that. All right, so we'll close our eyes and scan our memories. As we each do this, take the time to really savor each memory. Access from your cellular memory, your cells, the experience, like you were right there. We have that. All our cellular memory holds the fuel, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing it up so we can work with it. So with all our senses, get into those scenes. Maybe other people were there, how we were feeling. So keep scanning this movie of our lives where we felt good about money, whether it's a lot or sometimes it's all valid. Just harvest it. Allow that frequency to flow throughout your body, each of us. Maybe it's about the things we were able to do because we had the money, whether it was a beautiful retreat or a special training, a fun holiday, whatever it might be, purchasing something important. With each memory, affirm that sensation. Feel that frequency amplifying. Remembering to breathe softly, mouth or nose, as you reflect and observe. As we keep scanning, here's the opportunity to acknowledge ourselves because we are the creators in our own life. So I'm sure we've all had some rewarding moments, right? We created them. Let's acknowledge ourselves for that creation. All right, so we're going to jump into our next breath. I'm sure there's more and more opportunities, more memories that'll come up after the activation. So at the end, they'll give us all tools that you can keep working with every day. Plus, you'll be able to view this video over and over so that this can keep growing. So now we're going to go into a breath that amplifies these very powerful frequencies exponentially. So Diamond Mudra, and let's breathe. Tuning into that goodness, that richness, right? So in mouth medium. In more. Even more. And hold. Out mouth, in mouth medium. Out mouth, in nose slow. Out nose, in nose medium. Out nose, in mouth fast. Out mouth, in mouth medium. In more. Even more. Bit more. And hold. Out nose, in mouth slow. Out nose, in nose medium. Out mouth, in nose fast. Out mouth, in mouth medium. In more. Even more. Even more. And hold. Closing your eyes. Holding. Feel this gamma surge of energy, amplifying all this powerful success money energy. All of us together keep holding. And out mouth. Awesome. Now right away, let's bring this gamma manifestation cup of breath up to our lips. Inhale, mouth to drink. Great, and on the exhale, relax hands. And feel all this energy immersing, integrating through each of us and together. We're the council here. We're the Gamma Collective Council. Breathe easy and receive. All right. So now that we've quite powerfully entered some gamma energy, we're going to use this energy to process. So as we open up the positive pathways and we gamify these rich memories, what we're doing is integrating the positive aspects of them more with our breath and with the gamma fuel and the DMT and all the other good ingredients. So what this does is generate more of this to unfold in our current reality and in the quantum field of the next now and the next now. We're able to have more processing power available with which to visualize what's really in our highest alignment, our passion and purpose for being here on the earth, and generate it and recognize what the action steps are to bring it to fruition. And it gets closer and closer to us, and we are closer and closer to it, and it emerges from us. So that's why we're doing this. And now, because we have more of this gamma energy available, we're going to do some processing around the more difficult situations. So most likely everyone in this group right now has had some challenges with money. Maybe not. Either way, we're all here together to do this activation and to experience even more positive experiences with money. At the same time, everyone that's here that can, let's tune into what's been difficult. So let's close our eyes. And this is going to be a long scan. Each breath is very powerful to process a lot of memory, of perspective, and energy. So we're going to take our time here and really feel out a lot of layers. So again, close our eyes and first just trust whatever comes first about difficulties with finance. I'll give some examples just to help. Like, oh, I would like to, for my family, get even more like really healthy and organic food, or be able to take everybody and do all these other awesome experiences, but we're limited. Or, oh, I wanted to take this training, but right now I can't afford it, even though I know it's the next step in my path. Or, oh gosh, I have so much debt, and I I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, or I'm in a career that I don't feel is serving anymore, and I don't know how I'm going to transition from that and make more money. Or I grew up in poverty. Or, oh, like my parents told me that I could never do what I really want to do because it's not going to be successful or reasonable. Or you name it. Maybe having had bankruptcies, or losing businesses, or just always feeling like you got to scrape by and worry and struggle. So these are just examples, right? So just keep scanning. Whichever memories are coming up first are exactly the ones to process. So as we're doing this, I'm going to name some different ones to also tune into. First, from each of us, from our lineage, from our countries of origin, from our grandparents, great grandparents, parents, or caregivers, what did we learn, and or how were we talked to about or not talked to about money? How were we treated? So let's tune into that. Let's just notice in our bodies, because that's really important. Where do we feel, whether it's a constriction or a limitation or a hurt or an anxiety or a tightness or a fear or a sadness? Let's scan. It might be just a murky feeling, it might be a stagnant feeling, it might be just something's not flowing or dark, anything at all. Or maybe it's even an injured area of the body, aches or pains or stiffness, rigid thinking. Let's each scan our bodies right now. How do we feel? How's our posture? Is everything flowing, or any area speaking to us? All right. So this is just like to gain into the highlights of those situations. Of course, there's so many more, but just know that with Gamma, what happens is that we get the access points, the gateways, and we process around those, and then it becomes automated. More and more processing can happen as you keep gamifying in the next days. Like I said, I'll show you how at the end of our activation here. So there'll be more and more insight. There'll be more and more shifts, perspective upgrades, realizations on the same topic. So say it's about the family right now, right? I'm just going to plug in my computer. Okay, so now let's tune into this. Whoever has debt, okay, here in our group, or a feeling of like owing, or something hasn't had closure around it. There's money that needs to be paid for something. Uh, Ancestors that had debt, or there was so many hardships in the family because of that. Owing credit cards, bankruptcy, people we owe money to, but we haven't paid them back. Like anything that feels like a debt. Okay, let's each tune into that word, debt. How does it feel? Okay, maybe some of us hold our breath. I noticed I held my breath. There's some people sharing here. Somebody is sharing that tears came to her eyes when realizing a story she hadn't before. Always on the periphery, outside looking in. Poverty on both sides. Well, and I'm going to bring this up. I recently saw again a movie called The Pursuit of Happiness, which the first time I saw it, I really cried at the end. The second time I saw it, I really cried at the end. So it resonated for me, this like energy of just struggling, of trying to make it in something, and like finally the breakthrough. And it's that feeling maybe also of being on the outside, or trying to be seen, or trying to be recognized for being able to do something, right? So as we're looking into debts, okay, this is something that I just learned recently in this Access Consciousness Becoming Money book, and it was a game changer for me. So keep scanning about the debts. I'm going to say this. What if we change the word debts to past expenditures, okay? Past expenditures. Okay? That does not mean we're removing their sense of responsibility from it, but the word debt can be associated with like guilt, with a lower self-esteem, of not being enough, of not following through, of being dishonest, or wait, wait. Past expenditures shifts the frequency. We can create the that's so here today, so that as we manifest more ability and capacity to have more money, then if we have a past expenditure, even if it's bit by bit, we can pay it back, or we can just pay it all at once, or maybe that entity or person just says your debt is forgiven. Like really, these things can happen. I'm actually appreciating from, even though I wouldn't say I'm a religious person, but I did grow up with Catholicism and Judaism, those practices in Yom Kippur of like forgiveness of debts and forgiveness and self-reflection of, say, sins, and then in the Catholic religion where people go to confession. I get there's so much weight to say religion, so I'm not meaning it that way. I'm just looking at it from the realization that we got to also forgive ourselves. You know, we also could ask whether it's a higher being or the universe, or just like our entire consciousness of our lineage, and create like a lineage of forgiveness. We did what we knew then, and if we recognize now differently, and if we take steps with integrity now going forward, and if we can operate from a space of harmony and heart-centeredness for ourselves and others with integrity, our abundance is bound to grow. So consider it that way. It's about a forgiveness practice, and then from there, there'll be steps and ways to manage the past expenditures. So let's do a breath to process around expenditures, around experiences of family. Actually, we're going to add one more layer, and then we're going to do a breath. Everything that everybody's been sharing about in this chat, intentions, right? Like being able to pay the rent with ease, being able to have money transitioning from a steady kind of pay to a more holistic, self-guided practice. Being able to have more money for the family, being able to expand in a new career, being able to feel free with money, all of those, right? So let's tune into what's the opposite of that we felt. These are the words, need or want, okay? So let's feel into that. Where have we felt like we need or want money, and why? So let's feel into this with eyes closed. Okay, so this is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to add this as you're feeling into it. It's easy to say, yeah, but we need money for the rent. We need money to fix the car and get groceries. We need that. Like, yeah, we need. Okay. So this was interesting to recognize. Where's that state of need in the body? Let's feel it. right? Maybe it's the solar plexus, a sensation of constriction. Maybe it's in our root, like a tightness in the hips. Maybe we're not grounded on both our feet to the earth. Where's that need and want? Let's feel it. Is it like a grasping sensation? Is it tightness and preoccupation in our mind? Keep breathing and feeling. Where is it? So, as you're doing this, we've looked at past expenditures, we've looked at ancestral lineage, awareness, memories about money that we've grown up with. We've looked at some of our challenging experiences with money. We've looked at what we need and want right now with money. So, we've been tuning into those sensations in our bodies. So, here's something that we're going to do and then breathe about it. Let's each feel wherever it's most concentrated in our body that we're opening up that area. In my case right now, I want to say it is like through the front of the body. So it's just kind of solar plexus, abdomen, but also back to the neck. So for each of you, however it is you feel, you can even use your hands like you're opening up that area. Open up this area and allow the tension, the static, the constriction, the fear, the difficulty. Some people have the same spots as me. Here's commenting. Okay, so opening these up and just allow the energy to come out. It's not that we're throwing it out or something. It's just that it's getting present outside of us. It's like outside of us. Just trust and allow this as much as you can. Okay, so it's outside. For the time being, we're just in the now moment. I mean, that doesn't, we don't have to worry right now about how are we going to solve the need or the want. Just let's do this process. Always trust in gamma. So energy is opening up. Allow it to kind of pour out. Visualize the energy pouring out. That denser frequency is just pouring out. Okay. Now what we're going to do as that's happening is we need to fill with something, right? So taking from all around us the positive energy that we can harmonize wherever we are, even if it's the airport, find something that looks really positive or that feels really positive to receive and be nourished with. For me right now, it's this gorgeous greenery I'm surrounded with. You can see the reflection and the rain, and my cute dog is sitting here and just being here with all of you. So allow this energy, right? For all of us, we're gamifying, so we're receiving the energy from all of us. We're receiving it into our body wherever it's needed. We could place our hands into that area as well, our gamified hands. Right, and just remembering to breathe. We're going to gamma breathe it in a minute. So consider that money can be neutral energy, and it could be high frequency, abundant energy, which is everywhere around us. And I get we may need food, and that is true, but you know what? There's people who live off the sun and that are breatharians. Okay, I get that's maybe more extreme, but it is possible. So the point is, right here, right now, we are all fine. So let's receive that energy. Don't worry yet about what's going to happen tomorrow, okay? So now we're going to do a breath to process all that overlog, accumulated charge, all those difficult memories, all of that with this one breath. We're going to process and create a conversion of those charges where they're stored at their address with these breaths to free up, open up, and this becomes golden gamma fuel because we're going to gamify it. Then we can use that energy to create a conversion and an upgrade with our finance. So this mudra is a heart. Crisscross the top of the fingers. Now the pads touch like this. So the thumbs point down. We can hold this mudra in front of our hands. You can relax your elbows in front of our heart, I mean. Okay, so this breath is designed to process. So ancestral lineage, imprints, current challenges, programs about what we're told money is like, the energy that we feel in our body in areas that have been dense or such. Here we go. In mouth, out mouth, medium. In mouth, out nose, slow. In nose, out nose, medium. In nose, out mouth, fast. In mouth, out mouth, medium. in mouth medium. And hold. Out nose in mouth slow. Out nose in nose medium. Out mouth in nose fast. Out mouth in mouth medium. And out mouth medium. Good. Now just squeeze your fingertips, relax the hands, close your eyes, sit back. Surrender. Just breathe easy, allow Gamma to reorganize things. Keep basking in Gamma, breathing easy. Feeling this energy, reorganizing and upgrading, creating more space. All right, so as you're integrating this breath, we're going to do a little more of an advanced Gamma technique called Magics. It's an energy practice. And those of you who are facilitators on this group right now know what I'm talking about. So here's what we're going to do. We place our hands in front of us holding a ball of energy. In Qigong or Tai Chi, we could call this a Qi ball. Here, though, we're doing something a little more like next level, say, even though that's pretty awesome too. Here, what we're doing is holding the field of our life hologram. Each of us, our personal life is inside of our hands, our reality, which in fact it is, because all our brain waves are meridians through our fingertips from our brain. And right now they're all gammified, they're all very activated. We've been doing these drinkings of the Gamma breath medicine. We've been feeling our hands activated. So we're holding the energy of our life in our hands. We're going to add more Gamma blessings to everything that's happened to us leading up to now, that's formed and shaped our current reality and our situations, how we relate to money, which, as I was saying earlier, is also holographic. It could be how we relate to other areas of our life. And right now, we're focusing this to money. So we're here. We just did a breath to process a lot of difficult charges. Now we're going to infuse more with Gamma. So all that information that's been gammified is in our hands. We're going to open up our hands. It could be as big as you want to expand your hands, or it could be a little bit, whatever feels right to you, where you're still feeling all your energy in your hands. It's just that there's more space for it now, and also we're gathering more energy. Hey, thank you. Somebody's got to go. Love you. The video will be available after. Okay, so here we are, expanding the energy. Feel it as much as it can expand is fine. Gathering more subconscious, unconscious charges of what we're processing. Yeah, and now we're collecting this energy and concentrating it, bringing it back in. So however close your hands want to go is fine. It's going to feel almost solid, like really concentrated with experience and information. All right? Now we're going to expand again to however far it wants to go. Keep remembering to breathe easy as we do these things, by the way. Nose or mouth. Gathering energy, your own life experience, but now also feel that you're gathering energy of light from all around you to infuse into all this information. I'm channeling to all of us this beautiful mountain, Costa Rica, lush green energy, fresh, vibrant air, waterfall, river energy. and whatever you'd like to infuse more into yours as well. When I'm holding a magics, it's for me and for all of us here and for everybody who watches the video after. So now again, let's expand. One more time. We could do this as you could do 10 of these if you want. Let's do 3. So collecting, gathering more energy. We don't have to know all that exactly is, except that we know that it's our ancestors and our own and even other timelines, karmic lessons, money experiences, difficult challenges, all of that related. Concentrating, concentrating, concentrating. Okay, now as close as you get your hands, feels almost solid, right? So now we fold in our fingertips like this, from pinkies to thumbs, gathering it all into our palms. So here's all our concentrated life hologram inside each palm of our hands. We're going to gamify it by squeezing our hands 5 times like this. Once now for beta, all the physical experiences. Once again for all the emotional experiences. Once again for all the perspectives and beliefs. Once again for all the physical flow and rhythm aspects of it. And once again for the actual taking action, physical movement actions of it all. So this is everything from our past now getting really gamified in this topic. Now what we do is we open our hands like this, from index brushing of the thumb, middle ring, pinky, open up our thumbs. Now we inhale mouth, and we're going to send this energy forward to all of us with a big exhale mouth. Peel your hands off, and now sit back, close your eyes. You're going to feel yourself basking and immersing in a very elevated gamma field. As we each bask in this big toroidal golden technicolor gamma field of light, we put forth that across all timelines, contracts, dimensions, including here in the now in our physical human planes, that there's a healing and a completion leading to big, happy, loving upgrades and openings in our lives, prosperous, free financial openings. Keep basking in this energy. So now, as you're feeling this energy upgrade that's taking place, tune in to any upgraded perspectives that are coming to you, information, messages, images, new physical sensations, realizations. Trust whatever it is, whether it's a color or a symbol or a very clear image or your own voice or guides telling you something. Trust whatever that message is for you from your heart, sharing it into this quantum field that we're co-creating. And while we're doing this, I'm going to read to you this final paragraph, actually. So I do want to tell you a story. I was living in the Caribbean of Costa Rica. Some of you lovely friends are there right now, and there's a place called Cafe Rico. I know some of you know what I'm talking about, and they have secondhand books. I came across this book, Access Consciousness, How to Become Money. And it's not that it's the first money book I've done. I've even gone to like Millionaire Mind with Harv Eker and Train the Trainer and all these things. But something about the timing of reading this book and the activation we're doing today and where I'm at in my life, I know that the message coming to me even more so right now, that I'm stepping through this doorway now where I can support and guide this area because I'm experiencing it too. And this book was a catalyst, so I want to share about it. So it was just to tell you so I could give proper reference. Gary Douglas, who's the founder of Access Consciousness, channeled this being called Raz, and this was in the 90s in New York, and this is a transcript of that, and by some blessing I came across this book, and I just want to read you what he channeled right here at the end, so just to put it in that context, okay? When you feel the energy of thoughts about money coming in on you, and you feel them pushing in, reverse them and make them go out of you until you can feel the space that is you once again, which is what we're doing here with Gamma, okay? And then you will know that they are not you and that you have created that reality. So that's if it's something that's challenging, that's perpetuating. Remember that you create the vision of what you will have by connecting the power and the energy to it, like we're doing with connecting with high energy from around us and gamifying it. And by being aware that this is a reality that's already in existence because you have thought it, which is what we're doing here today, you don't have to control how it gets there. You are the control, and therefore it will occur as quickly as the abundant universe can provide it for you. And it will. Do not judge. Be in gratitude every day for each thing that you manifest. When you get $1, be in gratitude. When you get $500, be in gratitude. When you get $5,000, be in gratitude. And that which you call your debts are past expenditures, not debt. You do not owe anything in life because there is no past, there is no future. There is only the 10 seconds from which you create life, which is what we're doing. We're gamma creating in this now. Place in front of you the mantra, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Say, I am power, I am awareness, I am control, I am creativity, I am money. 10 times in the morning, 10 times in the evening. Put it somewhere where you see it and share it with others. I allow the abundant universe to provide me with a multiplicity of opportunities, all designed to encompass and support my growth, my awareness, and my joyful expression of life. And be it, because that is the truth of you. Be money in every aspect of life. Okay, so let's take a few moments to receive that. Like truly, if there's any cynic in the background, observe that as just a past pattern. Like, let's truly receive this for a few moments. We could close our eyes and just feel this in our consciousness, in our hearts. And I'm going to add to that. So the realization I was having the other day, we're our own boss, okay? So whether we're working in a corporation, have our own business, if we're self-employed, if we're a practitioner, if we're making goods and selling them, whatever it is we're doing, okay? If we have investments and we're living off of them, it's okay. However it is, we're our own boss. Do you realize we're the own boss of our lives? Are we paying ourselves well? Or are we paying ourselves not so well? So if we really want to take that responsibility into our hands, that self-reliance, that's enough realization in order to start making a difference. And not only that, then how much do we judge ourselves? Are we beating ourselves up with our thoughts? Are we recreating the same loops? We just want to be really aware and intentional of this as much as we can. That's what I love so much about being in the flow state and doing gamma breaths, because you could do a basic gamma breath 100 times a day. Like anytime you catch a limiting thought or a disconcerting, disagreeing, doubtful thought, or a challenging situation or interaction with someone that doesn't feel good, or just feeling low energy, or in a difficult, whatever the situation is that's happening, do a gamma breath, because that's a really magical and quick way to convert the charge. Tune into your body. Where in your body are you feeling that? What's the sensation? What's the emotion? What's the imprint, memory, thought about it? And then just do a gamma breath and just surrender it. Allow the rest to take care of itself. The gamma breath is that high energy. Allow it to ground through your whole body. Take time to receive nourishment from around you of what's good and what's working. Trusting that the universe, because you're creating that hologram of it, is conspiring to support you. So if there's been situations, patterns for decades that haven't been serving, it's because we've just been still perpetuating them. There's something still to learn about them. If we're ready to really take the matter into our own hands, like the magics, or with our own breath and consciousness, we can breathe into each one bit by bit. Even if we can't comprehend how we're going to change it, if we just don't understand how we're going to manifest whatever it is from somewhere else, that's okay. Just notice, are we trying to grasp for something? Are we holding something back? Are we scared that if we have more success and money, it's going to be overwhelming? Like, whatever it is, just with compassion, look at it, observe it, kindly, gently proclaim, like, this is how I want it to be. I want it to be harmonious. I want to be nourished. I want to be generous with everyone around me. I want to live the life of my dreams. I want to share my gifts in a way that feels harmonized and balanced. Work and play and family and life and rest, however it is for each of us, each of you. We can create it. We've already been successfully creating the other way we've been doing whatever we're doing. So we might as well do this with awareness. And again, this can translate to anything: relationship, health, money, lifestyle. I mean, I've personally gamified living here at the garden in Costa Rica, where I'm one of the founders of Blissburn. That's a lifelong dream for me. Bringing a Burning Man eco-sustainable community together. Dream come true, surrounded by epic, awesome, fun, loving people. Dream come true, healthy. Dream come true, beautiful, loving relationship with my daughter. Dream come true. Yeah, and it's not just, it's actually being dedicated. I've been breathing for decades, okay? Like, I've been working with Gamma for 12 years, but I'm here to say that the tools have accelerated in their potency, and I've honed these techniques to where I'm so happy to be able to share them and be in service to make it easy and so much quicker for everybody else, right? So just remember this when you go into your day today, 11/11, that this is a powerful activation from which to step forward, and you will experience a quantum leap, and you will notice differences. I want to hear from each of you later today and this next week. Send me messages. What breakthroughs have happened? What openings have happened? How has your perspective shifted? It needs to be from the inside. I mean, there'll be rewards that show up to recognize it from the outside, but cultivate that harmony and that space from the inside. If something feels restricted, like, oh, there's a bill all of a sudden to pay, or some tension from something, just breathe. Just breathe. Slow down. Get in the now. Get in the now. Like, just allow that tension to come out of that area of the body and do a basic gamma breath. Breathe in all the light energy around you. We're just going to do a couple more breaths before we complete, but there's somebody was sharing in the chat. A path is clearing and organizing for me as you speak. Yes, thank you for sharing that. It's true. I know, for example, following this, I'm going to reorganize my vision board. I have a beautiful vision board. It has all the things in it, but I realized I wanted to organize it really clearly, take some of the photos off, print and put some new ones, and put them according to Feng Shui, the areas of life, relationship, travel, career, family, health, wealth, all the things. And just was more organized, like one of you was just sharing. Clearing out an area of the house so that the energy flows more. So if there's not a result right away in something you're trying to solve financially, I also recommend doing what you can internally to cultivate. Like, so what's the next action step I can do for me or my loved ones right now that will help me feel more at ease or more abundant? Is it lay down for 5 minutes and give myself some positive energy? Is it go for a quick walk? Is it hug my dog? Is it call a friend real quick? Is it eat a nourishing snack? Whatever it is it read a book? Just pause and do what's the next action step. Or if you're ready to take action, right, in the things about the finance, maybe right after this, it's like, oh, I know this person who's hosting a retreat next week. I'm going to contact them so that we can collaborate on some workshops. Or I know I need to go to this store for whatever reason. I'm going to go. And then you meet somebody there who introduces you to someone who becomes your client, or it's your next work opportunity, or whatever it is. Like, truly, when you're in Gamma, you got to trust the action steps that show up, whether it's sit and chill and take a nap, or go to that place now, or call that person now, or write down that note, or write a chapter in your book. Really, whatever it is, trust those action steps. The more gamified we are, the more coherent, the more body intelligent we are, the more wise they are, more we can trust ourselves. I've grown to trust that every time I do a gamma process, whatever it is I'm struggling with or concerned about, I'm going to come out on the other side and it's going to be resolved, whether it's in that moment or later. But I just know it. It's that internal knowing. You just got to trust that inner knowing. Um, Somebody's sharing. A new home plan is unfolding for me right now, too. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so I'm going to add another really advanced gamma technique right here called the blinks. And let me check our time. We're going to wrap up real soon. We're going to wrap up within 5 minutes, but then if anybody wants to stay on after, I'll stop recording. We can share. But based on what some of you are sharing, like I see an organized path unfolding, I see a new home plan unfolding. Let's each tune into things that could possibly be unfolding, all right? And then we're going to do this other technique. So I gave the example of how I'm going to do my vision board and also feng shui this one corner in my kitchen, right? So just see for each of you, it could be like a future path already or just something in the next now of today for 11/11, like special rituals, gratitude offerings. We're going there, yeah. We're not going to our last step we're going to do today, which is like our final enveloping of it all, but just like some positives that are already coming. So tune in, see those, feel those. Okay, so now what we do is something called the blinks technique. It's actually just blinking our eyes, and it's actually a command or shortcut to gamifying. So as we have a realization and then we blink about it, we create a gamma surge or upgrade so that we can develop more neural pathways and more awareness of that in our consciousness. So ready? All we're going to do now is blink our eyes, but on purpose, like this. Ready? Blink. Okay, and if you need to close your eyes for a moment, feel into the gamma surge that's just happening for all of us. Yeah. So keep practicing with the blink. This is a more advanced technique, but the more gamma you cultivate, I really recommend learning the basic gamma breath, which I'll post below when the video's up on YouTube. And use the blink whenever you can as a shortcut. Like if you have a distracting thought, blink. If something really positive is happening, blink. What you're doing is each time you're gamifying. You're gamifying your experience. You're creating that baseline gamma flow state consciousness. Okay, so now the final part. Let's all close our eyes and reflect on this whole activation. I'm going to give us a little rundown so you can keep your eyes closed and just really embody all of this. So I started by talking about how we've each got programs, or we've had programs around money from our ancestors, even other timelines, karmic lessons, society, life experiences, things we've been told, experiences we've had. Right? And at the same time, there's infinite ways people live and relate to money and have tons of money or no money. Everything is possible. Anything is possible in this reality that people are doing and that you can see and create. So we went into a whole process of activating intentions with which were many shared in the chat, from a new home to new lifestyle to more income to freedom with paying the bills to many, like getting out of debt and so on. Then we also did some processing around the difficult charges accumulated in our memory banks, in our cellular memory about money. So whether it was the hardships and emotions and traumas and imprints that we felt growing up and where we feel them in our bodies, to the concerns and limiting thoughts that we have and how those affect our reality in a loop, to so much more, just any constrictions, limitations. We watched the movie of how it's played out through our life. And we tuned into how to open up those areas in our body that are most holding those more concentrated, uncomfortable energies, allowing them to like kind of melt out of us, and then doing a breath to process, and then another breath to add more light into those areas. So we bring light in. Then we did magic's energy to bless all that energy even more, so that more of the subconscious unconscious web of experiences and realm is getting even more gamified, so that we can neutralize that charge so it doesn't loop for us so much anymore. They talked about how we can gamify throughout the day with the basic gamma breath. I read the statements from Access Consciousness about how we we just need to release anytime we feel that. I'm just going to summarize this. Feel that constriction or limitation of those thoughts and experiences, we pause, we allow them to go outside of us. We receive like the higher neutral, also clear energy from around us that feels good to us. I mean, neutral, but also as in not charged with anything that we don't like, right? Just positive, nourishing energy that's all around us. And we proclaim, I am power, I am creative force, I am in the now, I am whole, things like this, any affirmations that resonate to you. And then, of course, the power of mixing the gamma into us makes this exponential manifestation that we are now not only doing that, we're developing neural pathways through gamma to actually create more of this. We freed up fuel from the difficult charges and converted it into golden gamma upgraded fuel to develop new ways of being. We even did a whole like karmic contracts clearing healing in the middle of this, and then we've been visualizing some of sharings that are happening about things that are already crystallizing and getting clear, right? So all of this and more. Now let's each see ourselves in the next now moments, in the what we could call the future weeks, days, months, years ahead of us, that's coming to us, that we are stepping into how we feel. Let's physically tune into our energy field. And also, it could be just subtle. It doesn't have to be very specific images, but it could be. Look ahead. Do you see any scenes, people that are involved, things that you're doing, places you're living at, whatever it might be, but especially it's that inner state. How is it? Just remember, it's key to always have that like that zen, well-being, self-loving, compassionate, like the container of abundant, golden, also but neutral light, that we're not attached. Remember this part too, the to release or have compassion for the state of need or want. Just compassion in each moment, staying back into the now. Okay? And now we're going to do a breath that integrates this whole experience. So it's palms together. It's all going to be medium breaths, really grounding this whole blueprint into our body, into our heart, into our consciousness, of stepping forth, becoming money. I want to add this in as we do this integration. We become money by receiving the energy all around us, and we also allow the energy to flow through us. So whether we feel energy backing us up and flowing in through our back, and we're giving through the front, or like a toroidal field of energy, or from the sides, it's like from everywhere. It's not just in our past, it's not just in our future, it's everywhere, it's with us. We can create anything. We just trust. It's like a prayer, and we gamma breathe because that will integrate it in. So let's do that. Okay, so in mouth, out mouth. In nose, out mouth. In nose, out nose. In mouth, out nose. In mouth, out mouth. In nose, out mouth. In nose, out nose. In mouth, out nose. One more set. In mouth, out mouth. In nose, out mouth. In nose, out nose. In mouth, out nose. And a very big and spacious in mouth, out mouth. Awesome. Let's each hold this mudra and stay in this space of gammas in silence for a few moments. And as we're each here in this completing sweet spot, I'll mention a few more things to each of us keep in our consciousness and integrate. To trust that we will find the ways that the pathways will show up for us, that the new action steps, that the guidance is opening up for us because we've done this activation. So even though it's unique for each of us how it is, we get to cultivate and navigate step by step that journey to the exact space of the total financial prosperity and freedom. And that anything that needs completing from the past, expenditures or bills or so on, that we're establishing a new relationship with ourselves and those so that we can experience more freedom and ease and a space of more balanced relating with money, more balanced working with money, so that we can maintain that container of abundance, so we could cultivate it, so that money can be with us, that it can flow, we can generously share it, we can generously receive it, we can create a golden container for it, and then it just grows and grows and grows in a harmonious way, in an illuminated, well-being, rich kind of way. It doesn't have to have a specific number on it. We each know how it feels to each of us. And by nature of being in this activation together, we have taken a quantum leap. So when you're each ready, you can gently, easefully, from a space of heart and gratitude, open your eyes. All right, and everybody have a wonderful November 11th. Thank you so much for joining me. May you have a blessed day. Remember to drink lots of water. I recommend some minerals, a pinch of sea salt or Himalayan salt. The minerals help grounding everything in. And take some time to just relax and celebrate today. Allow this integration of the activation, and the rest will reveal itself. If you want to take notes or journal, great. You may have lots of revealing dreams. Take note. Share with your loved ones. Like I said, I'm going to post this video today to YouTube, and below I'll have the basic Gamma Breath. If any of you don't know it and want it, message me and I'll send it to you. And in a moment, I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can chat and check in. Anybody who wants to stay and share feedback or realizations, we can do that. If you want to wait a second, I can actually get from my notes the basic Gamma Breath. I'll paste it into our chat. Okay, so hang tight a sec. I just thought of that. Okay, done that before, just hadn't set it up yet. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Here we are. Here it is. So if any of you want to take a snapshot of this from the chat, or you could copy it to paste it into your notes, anything like that, great. So there it is in our chat. All right. So again, thank you so much. I wanted to share one more thing. On my website, raquelstar.com, I have a lot of Gamma Breath audios, which are wonderful ways to keep cultivating your Gamma quotient. So check those out. If there's any you want to download, then you can purchase them there and download. I have a special right now on my latest Gamma audio called Rise and Shine, and I'm sharing that one directly through WhatsApp. And instead of on the my website is 33, I'm offering it for $25 today. If you'd like, for any of you who want to sign up for private sessions or a Gamma Breath training, I'll offer a special discount to you. You can reach out to me and we could talk about it. Or if you need sliding scale, somebody is asking, is it in the chat? Yeah, the basic Gamma Breath. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I didn't press send. Okay, the basic Gamma Breath is now in the chat. Thanks for checking in. But yeah, so just reach out to me. If any of you want more personal support with Gamma Breathwork, I am here. And see you again soon. Namaste. Blessings and love to everyone all over the world. Love you so much. Namaste.